Tom Brown here, another episode of Gates of Graceland, this time inside the mansion, inside one of the rooms that you see on the first floor. And to tell us more about where we are and why we're here, because I don't know, it's Director of Archives Angie Marchese. Hi there, Angie.
Hi, Tom. Welcome to Gladys's room.
Thank you, and I'm in my socks. We're not walking on the carpet in our shoes.
And we've got our gloves on. You know what that means?
That means we're going to get to see something
special.
And it's very exciting because I kind of looked over there, and it looks a little different than it does on the tours.
I took the plexi down for us.
Oh, when we come in and we're outside looking in, to our right at Gladys's closet, there's plexiglass up, and that's now gone. So I have a feeling, are we going to go see what's inside?
We're going to go get a closer look at what's inside there.
Let's see. Okay, take us in.
Yeah, so wanted to talk a lot about Elvis's mom this trip around, you know, because she is such an important person in Elvis's life.
Yeah,
it was so special. Yeah. I mean, in fact, this would have been the master bedroom at Graceland when Elvis bought the house. And he let his parents use it, and Gladys decorated it in her favorite color of purple, and also helped decorate the bathroom with the poodle wallpaper.
I love that. That's just so of the 50s, and it's whimsical, as they would say, and fun. And just the tile and everything in there, just it really is personalized.
Yes, so this was really his mom's space. Unfortunately, she only had a chance to live here for a year before passing, but this room has always had a very special place in Elvis's heart because it was his mom's room. And here in the closet, we have some of Gladys's belongings. And as we take a look at them, you can see how simple they are. And you can actually even see where she would prepare her belongings instead of buying new dresses. She was always, even when Elvis became Elvis, she still was the simple girl from Mississippi who, you know, raised chickens in the backyard of Graceland and took care of her son.
It's amazing, and they obviously had the money for her to have that, and that was who she was.
That was who she was. This is probably one of the nicest dresses that we have here. But again, you can still see how it's very well worn.
Yeah.
Bleach spots and all.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
And then we have her shoes up here.
Oh, look at that.
Little wedges.
Yeah.
Again, very well worn.
Yeah.
And nothing very elaborate or expensive.
So special for Elvis to have kept this. Oh, look at that.
And then her purses, her little dainty purses. And a lot of these, when we found all of this stuff in the attic, it was still stuffed with wallets and belongings. In fact, in one of the purses, we found Elvis's wallet from '57 as well as a Vernon wallet was in her purse.
Wow. So, and so these were up in the attic, just like moved it out, and I'm sure, and then, you know, Dodger moved in, and Elvis's grandmother moved into this room.
Yeah, I mean, after her passing, Elvis really went to Germany. So he was gone for 18 months. And on strict orders, this room was not to be touched. So when he came home from Germany, Gladys's belongings were all still here. Everything was just the way he left it, just the way she left it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until '62 that the room was actually packed up and put in storage. And the reason why we know that is because when we unpacked it, everything was wrapped in 1962 newspaper.
Wow. Sometimes your job's really easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
what
can
year
figure
did
out.
they do this?
Yeah, really,
1962.
That must have been a difficult time, you know, for him to finally say it's time to
put her stuff up.
Away.
But this is actually a really cute purse.
This is my favorite.
Gladys S. Presley.
Gladys Smith Presley, yes. My
monogrammed.
Goodness. That's actually a very kind of a hip.
It's very
kind of
nice
thing.
purse.
Yeah, that's like really nice. I think the thing that amazes me the most is all of these dresses, and look at this one. They're so well worn.
Very well worn. You know, she never took anything for granted.
Yeah.
At all.
I think there's a bit of that in what you've told me before about Vernon keeping furniture and lamps, and you keep that because you don't know one day what's going to happen.
Exactly.
And you may want to have that because there was no guarantee that any of this was going to last.
Not at all. And so they kept and they reused and they repaired, and they, you know, never really let all the fame and money go to their head, even though what Elvis did was to take care of his parents.
Yeah. Well, that's the first thing he did. He bought
Graceland.
Bought the house for the parents.
Yeah.
And anything they wanted, and this is what she wanted.
And this is what she wanted.
Yeah.
Yep. But you know what? We also have a new exhibit here at Graceland that I just opened. I want to show you, and we're going to learn a little bit more about Gladys.
So we're somewhere that you'd never be able to see on the
Here
tour.
in the closet,
to be
yes.
able to look at these close up close. Thank you so much for opening the closet for us and let us looking at it. Gladys is a very important part of Graceland history, like you said, even only for that year. Such an important part of Elvis's story. So
And
thank
Elvis's
you.
life.
We get to know a little bit about her by what she wore. All right, a new exhibit.
A new exhibit. Let's
New
go
things,
see.
new things at Graceland.
New things
all
at
the time.
Graceland.
Ooh.
Came
Items.
from. We're in this trunk. Can you imagine this truck and the stories it could tell?
And where was this? Up in the attic?
This was actually up in the attic, yeah. And when we opened it up, I mean, you see this old trunk and you open it up and then all of a sudden in there's Vernon's painter pants, and then there's Elvis's report cards, and there's a flashlight and a piece of lace and little odds and end things, and then you find their tax return from 47 and receipts for paying back loans and things like that. Actually, even a receipt for buying buttermilk at the local grocery. This postcard here was in there, and it's to Gladys from her brother Travis, and I love it because it's like, "My dear sis, I will drop you a card to say I'm okay. Hope you are still okay. Gladys, tell Cletus," their other sister.
Right.
"I never got anything from her. Don't know if she sent any or not. Well, I will close for the present, so answer real soon. Love, Travis."
So that's on that postcard, and it took days to get that information. And,
From Travis to Gladys.
And from 38, so
Yes.
Elvis is 3, approximately, when that postcard is written. And look at this income tax return.
This one's from
53.
47, which so it's the
40
year before they moved to Memphis, and then 53, the year Elvis graduates high school.
Yeah, boy, did they not know what was coming.
Not at all.
The taxes probably got a little different about 2 or 3 years later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we have a couple more belongings. These are the pants that were found in that steamer trunk.
Vernon's work pants. Yeah.
Another one of Gladys's dresses and her jewelry box. You know, Elvis, as soon as he made it famous, he wanted to buy his mom everything. And as we already said, she was very simple and she wanted to stick to her roots. So the jewelry, there's nothing really elaborate in there. You know, nothing really expensive. A lot of it is costume jewelry. But you can see clip-on earrings, her wallet, as well as her ID card from when they lived at Lauderdale Courts.
On Winchester Avenue. It's so wonderful to just see a little bit of history of Gladys, to find out a little bit more about her, and you really see a mom.
Yeah.
Saving
her son's things.
A mom saves the Crayola box.
Yes.
from grade school.
Yes,
you know.
and the high school diploma and the graduation tassel and the little snapshots, the family photos. That's what a mom does, and that's what Gladys did.
We always said that Tupelo may be 90 miles away, but it's also a world away from what Elvis achieved, you know, here in Memphis and at Graceland. And so it's really important to tell that
To tell the story.
Yeah.
Because I also believe that this grounded him. This made him the person he was, because Elvis never forgot where he came from, never forgot what his parents taught him, and he treated everyone with that respect that his mom and his dad instilled in him.
Yeah, I've talked to so many people during Elvis Week, done interviews with them, and they talked about how, yes sir, no sir, and they were like, "Elvis, I'm younger than you."
Yeah.
Up that way. We
No,
could just,
no, we're going to
okay.
Gladys's room.
That's right. All right, we'll go to Gladys's room.
Come on in.
Very, very soft carpet.
And look what I have. You know what that means?
Oh yes, this means good things.
It means that we're going to touch things.
That's right.
So like you said, when you first came here to Graceland in the 80s, this room was used by Elvis's aunt.
That's right. She had a little dog. Because
Edmund.
we would see her out walking her dog when we would come through the tours.
Yes, and so she used this room. It wasn't until her passing in '93 that we actually cataloged everything in the room and set it up the way it was kind of when Gladys was here, and opened it up for tours. And some of the unique things that we kept here in the room, or some of the things I'm going to show you, actually didn't belong to Gladys, but belonged to another person who used this room. And that was Elvis's grandmother, Minnie Mae.
Right, Dodger.
Yes.
Yes.
So some of the things that I wanted to show you were here on the dresser, which you really can't see from the door, is we actually have a pair of Minnie's glasses.
Oh my gosh. Look at that, kind of rose-colored or lilac, kind of matches the decor in the room. Look at that. Those are some 1950s glasses,
If you've ever seen one, right?
Oh my gosh.
And then something else, I'll hold this piece, which is kind of very fragile, but still very dated. The hats.
Gorgeous.
So.
This room, when you're inside this room, it's a lot bigger than it feels like when you're standing
at the doorway
looking in. I'm just going to put that there.
The other really, and I mean, there's nothing really unique in here, but it's what you would find in your grandmother's house. You'd find some very beautiful glass container that's just full of little knickknacks like lipstick.
Yeah. Wow. It's like travel size.
Yeah, travel size lipstick. And in case you ever need a button. Every button you could possibly imagine is here.
My grandmother has this exact bowl with buttons and hair clips and safety pins, safety pins.
All of your emergency needs are all right here in this drawer, in this little container. And Minnie wasn't any different. So this was her little container of emergency needs to take care of whatever anybody needed.
And the little spritzer.
For perfume.
The little perfume.
The little perfume spritzer.
That has a fancy name. I don't know what. Atomizer. Ooh, education. See what it does for you?
Yes.
Ooh, look at that.
And then we also have this beautiful.
What? I have no idea what that.
Powder.
Powder. Oh,
it's actually makeup.
And that's still.
It's still here.
There's still makeup.
There's still makeup in here.
Wow.
But a good Southern lady hides her essentials.
That's right. That's right.
And then we have a picture of Elvis, age 5. So this was taken in your hometown.
In Tupelo. That's a
Tupelo
Tupelo picture. And look how blonde he is in that picture.
But look at that little smile.
Yep.
That Presley look.
It's there.
It's there.
It's there. This room also, when fans come through, as I'm in here, I realize, fans couldn't come in here because it's a bottleneck. They'd have nowhere to turn around.
Yeah, there is. Really. There's one way in and one way out. Nowhere to turn around. I mean, but it is a very quaint room, you know. And you hear stories of when Elvis brought the horse into the house and he did his little business in the hallway. That happened right outside this door.
Yeah.
And Lisa talks about coming to see Grandma. And Priscilla tells stories about Grandma Minnie was always in her room and we always came to visit her, and she had a little TV in here, and this was her home. This is where she lived, and you could just picture the lady of the house staying in this room, and Elvis coming down the stairs yelling, "Dodger, are you okay? You want to cook something?" And
and it's really a well-lit room too. You have 2 nice outside windows, so it's very quiet and kind of isolated, really.
And something else that happened not so long ago in this room was when Lisa was recording her last album, Storm and Grace. She actually did a photo shoot here at Graceland, and some of the photos that were used for that album and for promotion were actually taken right here in this room.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it stays in the family.
It does.
See, I love that. And looks like a portrait of Elvis on the wall over there too. You can't really see that from outside. That's a Memphis portrait too, I think.
It is a Memphis portrait on that wall. One of his very first publicity shots. So there's lots of things here that you wouldn't know. When we opened up the room for tours back in 1993, the headboard actually had been reupholstered a couple of times, but when we were redoing the room, we actually went back to the original upholstery that was still under 2 layers of different upholstery during different decorations.
So this is back
the
to
original,
the day, to Gladys.
To Gladys's day, yes.
Right. Well, it's gorgeous. Thank you so much for bringing us in. And again, I can't get over
how soft the carpet is.
How soft the carpets are. Graceland has the best carpets. Of course, white, which is not a good choice sometimes, but
they are the best.